fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
All right, fellas. We are live. We are live. Grand Rapids Garage Bar.
Are we
Grill.
live?
Shout out. Downtown.
We're live.
The boys are on the road. Real American Beer made it possible.
That's mine right there, man.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Touch my room. I call the Real American Beer.
They made it possible. We got Real American Beer, and we're going to drink the fuck out of these things, all right? And have some fun. Talk about the Detroit Lions.
Let's
Hope everyone's
go.
having a great day. Thanks for joining. Fellas, big game today, divisional game. Lions-Packers.
Massive.
Huge one. Massive game. In Lambeau. Gonna rain.
Yep.
It's the type of ball the Lions want to play.
Gonna be gritty.
That's what
Gotta be gritty.
type of ball Lions want to play.
It's an NFC North matchup. I've said it. I saw it actually on the TV while we were here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lions win, they have a 70% chance of winning the NFC North. If they
Yeah.
lose, it goes down to a 40%. So this matchup is one of the bigger matchups. I've said it a million times, guys. You win you at Minnesota, then you go in and go win at Green Bay. You lock in the division.
I agree.
That's what it is. If you go 2-1 on the road in your division and you take care of business at home, listen, guys, you're NFC North. You're the kings of the North again. This game, it is the most. I'll emphasize the most important game to date for the Detroit Lions season is this matchup right now.
Yeah, I would agree. Two best teams in the NFC. We did our power rankings. Two best teams to us. Jordan Love, little banged up. It's announced he's going to play.
Yes.
He will be playing. He will be playing this game today. Josh Jacobs will be playing this game as well. Two very key players.
Hey, shout out Derek for stopping by his son.
Appreciate you.
Derek, guys.
See you later,
They're
Derek.
in the chat all the time.
Yeah, Derek in the chat, stopping by Grand Rapids Garage Bar and Grill.
Can I say one more thing? If you're watching now, I don't know how many people are watching right now. It looks about 60 people so far as people start to come in. If you're in the West Michigan area, come to the garage today. Here.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us. There's tables open. Right now, I see one in front of us. It is starting to fill out. So the game starts in about an hour. If you're in the area before this place gets absolutely packed, come chill with the boys.
Great food.
We're going to be live the whole time. Great, unbelievable
Hey guys,
food.
I was told here at the Garage Bar and Grill, they sell 1,000+ units of chicken tenders every week.
Bro, I had them right before we hit, probably like half hour ago. Gas.
It's
a crispy chicken tender. It's not one of these half-ass throw it in it's battered.
Best chicken tender on the market.
Crispy. The fries that come with it, great. my girlfriend got some honey mustard, dipped it in the honey mustard. Oh, to die for. Great
really
food.
is.
Boone, you got a smash burger. You look like you were a happy camper.
Oh my gosh,
So
dude.
not only can you spend some time watching some good football down here, but nothing better than some real American food, real American beer, and some great food. Shout out, Boone.
I'll tell you what, this bar is just packed with Real American Beer merch. It is everywhere.
It's ridiculous.
We've got the RV, the Real American Beer RV. You know what we should do? I have an No, maybe not. We won't do that. I have a really good idea. I was going to say, we should get one of the boys on their phone to join, and they go give a tour of the RV out there in the Real American Beer truck.
At halftime.
There's the biggest truck I've ever seen in my life out there with the biggest flames and the biggest tires with Real American Beer on the side. It's like Dan Campbell heading into Green Bay, into Lambeau Field, ready to just run over the Green Bay Packers, baby.
Well, speaking of that game, like I said, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs will be playing. Lions coming into this matchup, Inactives. And we're going to get that inactive list because I want to see officially. But we know Josh Pascal's out. We know Malcolm Rodriguez is out, still out, both players. We'll start with the offense. This offense in this type of weather, we spoke about it. You got to give them the advantage, right? The offensive line, best in the league. Running back duo, best in the league. What do they want to do? They want to run the football. They establish the run. And even in Green Bay, in Lambeau, David Montgomery, this is a place that he loves to play in.
Yep.
So I think this type of game, the rainy, muddy, whatever you want to call it, gritty, old school Dan Campbell football, edge Lions.
Yeah, I mean, the last time the Detroit Lions went into Lambeau, they handed the ball off to David Montgomery 32 times. Now, granted, that was in I believe, the third or fourth game last year, so Jahmyr Gibbs really didn't have his role. When you look at the weather and you And you guys hear me say, like, okay, this is a David Montgomery game. This is a Jahmyr Gibbs game. This has to be a David Montgomery game because the weaknesses that they have at the edge spot on defense right now, if David Montgomery gets going and they consistently give the ball to him, that's going to keep this offense on the field compared to where Jahmyr Gibbs, he can take it to the house 7 yards right now. You saw it last week. So for David Montgomery, just to keep eating away at this defense, and then your guys' point, bring in Jahmyr to kind of open up the game. But David Montgomery has to have a crucial role in this game because it keeps that offense off the field. And Green Bay Packers defensively in the red zone, they're not all that. Like as a whole, as a totality, they have a good defense. But in the red zone, they can have a hard time stopping the football. So with David Montgomery, he's lit him up when he's in Chicago. He's lit him up so far in Detroit. Big game from David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, but I think it's pivotal that it's more of a David Montgomery game today. Yeah,
and honestly, I think offensively, a lot of people. All right, I've been struggling a little bit with this, guys. Okay, because I want you guys to hear me out real quick. Everyone's talking about the rain, and I think it's going to be a running game. Demont Gibbs.
Yeah.
When you least, I'll tell you what. When you least expect something, the unexpected happens. And I don't know if that's the real saying. I feel like that's one of those. I feel like Jared Goff's going to throw for like 225 today. I just like everyone's talking about how Goff can't do anything in the rain. He'll fumble, interception, this, that. I feel like it's one of those times where everyone's just so focused. I'm sure even the Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur, their game plan is to focus surely just on the run game. And Ben Johnson says, all right, have you guys ever played Uno before?
Absolutely.
Reverse. We're going Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown today. And I feel like that's going to be a legit thing. I feel like they're going to kind of throw a reverse card on it. I haven't even thrown the glasses on today. What are we doing here, Booner? I mean, what are we doing? It's game day, man.
Lock in.
It's game day. Here we go.
To your point about the Uno reverse card, Amon-Ra St. Brown has been, and it's not last game they blew out the Titans. They didn't really need anything from any offensive players, to be honest. I mean, just executing in the red zone. Amon-Ra's had a couple quiet games this year. It's been that way with the offense. They're spreading the ball around. You got many mouths to feed. Now no J-Mo in Lambeau. Big game. Amon-Ra St. Brown pulls up to the stadium with a Packers hate.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, what do you say? F the Packers suck. Green Bay Packers suck. So, I mean, F the Green, whatever it is. This is a game, in my opinion. This week, we had our Impact Players of the Week. Amon-Ra St. Brown, to me, if you're going to rely on a pass catcher, it's going to be him. Like, it doesn't matter who's Jair Alexander's questionable. We're going to find out if he's inactive. I didn't check yet. We've just been setting up everything. I'm going to look at all that stuff soon.
The inactives?
Yes.
Who are you
for the Packers? Is Jair playing? Just check for me so I don't sound like an idiot.
Look.
But if Jair's out, like, I don't care who's at corner. They got Keyshawn Nixon,
Eric Stokes.
It's a mismatch anywhere on the field. And they move the rookie Bullard into the slot. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. Amon-Ra, I think, is going to have plenty of opportunities today. Yep. And it's not a game you're going to throw the ball downfield. Yep. I think, again, advantage, give it to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the passing game.
All right, Inactives, breaking news. Inactives, wide receiver Malik Heath, not as breaking. Defensive lineman Brenton Cox Jr., not that big.
Massive news.
Center Josh Myers. Tackle Travis Glover. Safety Evan Williams. We knew that. He was already inactive. And the biggest one of them all, corner number 23, Jair Alexander will not be playing today versus the Detroit Lions. He is out of the game. It's crazy. That's smoke. Guys, Evan Williams and Jair Alexander, those are two pivotal. Like who we had on the show a couple days ago.
Dusty?
No,
Dusty
not Dusty.
we had.
Who was before the beat? Right? I apologize for Peter. Peter had mentioned that Evan Williams, when you look at the top 5 rated safeties in the NFL right now per PFF, which I know PFF, but you have basically not in any order. You have Brian Branch, you have Kirby Joseph.
Yes.
And you have Evan Williams in the top 5.
Yeah.
And they're without a top 5 safety, essentially, when it comes to coverages and grades and all of that. So, like, that, guys, that's a big loss. And he was actually, he broke it down really well, explaining, I was like, the way he broke it down was like, no one's talking about how good Evan Williams has been. I think here in Detroit, I mean, we've heard him, we know who he is, but I don't think we realize how big of a loss that is for their defense. And now they're Jair Alexander, 2 big-time pieces. Obviously, they still have Xavier McKinney, though.
Yeah,
so
I was about to get into, though. But who does that affect the most? I mean, if you're Xavier McKinney, you already have a lot to rely on, given you're the free safety. You're the last line of defense. Well, now you don't have Jair. You don't have Evan Williams there. So now Xavier McKinney, he's not going to be playing as stress-free as he would be. I mean, he's leading the league in turnovers created at the safety spot with 6 interceptions. So he's playing very confidently. If you lose those 2 guys, Now you're going to be able to asked to be able to do more than he has already. So I think this could be something where Xavier McKinney, you'd expect him to maybe come up with a turnover. It's even more crucial now, but I think it's going to be harder to come by because given guys are going to be more wide open. So this is definitely favorable for the Detroit Lions offense. I mean, obviously with injuries, but Xavier McKinney's been on a tear, and it's going to be harder to replicate that this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Jair's huge. He's actually been way better this year than he has last year. But I think the amount of weapons the Lions can go to here on offensively, I don't – Packers are. I don't want to be respectful here. Like they have some guys in their defensive line that have been kind of underperforming. Like Rashawn Gary seems like a sleeping beast. Like he's going to be woken up soon. Hopefully, it's not today against Taylor Decker.
Might be though.
It's not. But I think this offense for the Lions. I mean, they have everything to go out there and just outplay the Packers up. I mean, you have a banged up Love, a banged up Josh Jacobs. Offensive line's always solid. But the Lions have the advantage essentially everywhere on the field. I mean, they just do. And I think this offensive line healthy now going against this Packers defensive line, to me, that's like the biggest matchup, especially in this type of weather. It's going to be that type of ball game with Rashawn Gary, Preston Smith. They got the young guys out of the Georgia they drafted, Wyatt. And who's
Kenny Clark? You like Kenny Clark?
I do like Kenny Clark.
Cooper too.
Edger and Cooper. They have guys. Their front seven. That's to me like the matchup. Yeah. You know what I mean? I cannot wait to see some big boy football today.
It is going to be big. Both sides of the ball, honestly. Like not even that, but their offense, everything. Like our offensive line, Taylor Decker struggled the last 2 weeks, and then on the other side, like you want to see our defensive line, like Josh Jacobs. Are they going to be able to stop Josh Jacobs?
They
that's the big thing.
Well, and Boone, you've been especially critical of it, and I don't think it's a bad thing either. Like the amount of missed tackles they've had over the last 2 weeks, like it hasn't shown to bite them in the ass yet because you're playing the Tennessee Titans, and the week before that, they were missing tackles against Minnesota, but the way that Jared Goff was playing, you really didn't notice it. This is a game where we talk about Tucker Kraft, boys, 6'5", 260 pounds. Josh Jacobs, the running back that he is, and then even guys like Jaden Reed and Romeo Dobbs, they are not easy to tackle. And when you're in Green Bay, the offense with Jordan Love hurt, they're going to rely on more playmakers making plays, more yards after the catch, more yards after contact for Josh Jacobs. Yep. So the missed tackles that we've seen, especially with no Josh Pascal, who's very good against the run, they've got to make the first tackle. Like when you think about it, like an injury like Malcolm Rodriguez, you're like, that doesn't make that much of a difference outside of special teams. Malcolm Rodriguez is a sure tackler. Great. Like Malcolm Rodriguez, going into high school, all-state wrestler, going into Oklahoma State, missed very few tackles. When you're going up against a running back like Josh Jacobs, you can't miss tackles. And that's something that he did. So your guy, Trevor Nowoski, who's been stepping up, Booner, he's got to continue to do that. We got to see a big game out of him.
I mean, the not even the edge game. Like people, when I talk about finding different ways to get to the quarterback, everyone's mind goes straight to an edge. And then I bring up Trevor Nowoski. Rodrigo's out, but even like Anzo or Jack at times is going to put in that position. Ben Neiman's going to get put in that position today. Or Meek Robertson's going to put in that position. Brian Branch is going to get moved around into the guys need to step up and get to the quarterback. And all right, you want me to say this? I just want to be honest with the people.
Let's hear it.
I want me to be very frank with the people. Everyone's talking about how bad the edge rush is, right?
Yeah.
But at what point? All right, we could talk about it too. The breaking news today. Expected Zadarius Smith. It's reported by PF. Was it PF Pro Football Talk?
That the Lions have a conversation.
Zadarius Smith within the next 24 hours is supposed to be a Detroit Lion. Guys, whether Zadarius Smith comes or not, at some point as Lions fans, we have to wrap our heads around the realization that we might not have an elite pass rush from our edges for the next 17 games or however many games we have left.
Season.
Yes. Yeah. So and then this is what frustrates me so much over the last week is when I bring up other ways to rush to get the linebackers involved, the secondary, people are like, oh, you'll never win like that. You're going to have to. You have to find a way. And Lions fans have to realize that that is now part of what our defense, that's the identity of this defense now, is finding different ways to get to the quarterback. Because realistically, guys, you bring Zadarius Smith in, he's a big piece. Does he fully replace Aiden Hutchinson? Does he replace Marcus Davenport? Does he replace all of those guys? No, he doesn't. So Sean Murphy's in the house, baby. Let's go. Sean Murphy.
Shout out Sean Murphy. He does not. He does not, but he definitely helps. Definitely.
Do you see what I'm saying? So there is a different identity that's going to have to happen with this Detroit Lions defense, and people have to understand that a little bit. You have to wrap your head around that, and that's where I think a little bit it's hard for some people to see that. You have to though. You have to.
Yeah, and by the way, happy. You guys know Zadarius Smith. I'm waiting for it. Need it to happen.
It's at 24 hours.
We talked about it on the show, and I said if a trade is not done, I'm going to be very upset. It's going to stink. But looks like a trade will happen. It's going to be Zadarius Smith as expected. He makes too much sense. I mean, we've made a ton of videos on our channel about it. I will say the biggest thing for me isn't that Zadarius Smith's going to come here and solve all your pass rush issues, but he helps with the lack of depth they do have. I mean, you have 2 practice squad guys.
It like takes
starting.
you from here to here.
Yeah, it closes the gap a tiny bit. That's all you need right now. That's all you can do. You're not going to get Aiden Hutchinson. He doesn't grow on trees. You're not going to get Max Crosby, unfortunately. You're not going to get Trey Hendrickson. You're not going to get Myles Garrett, but you can get Zadarius Smith.
Yes.
And you're going to need, what he's going to help? He's going to help Aleem McNeil because you know why? You need a guy that can win one-on-ones. And God forbid, if Zadarius Smith starts playing well, maybe he gets double-teamed 1 or 2 times.
Hopefully.
And then Aleem can get someone. So you just need, no, all due respect, Isaiah Thomas and El Muhammad. I don't think they're fine, but they're not getting double teams ever. And Zadarius might not get – he's not going to get nowhere near their level of Aiden, but he's capable of making some plays. So I'm excited, man. I mean, they like you said, Booner, they got to figure it out in other ways. Iffy, when he comes back, they're going to find ways to get him involved. Brian Branch involved. Trevor Nowoski involved.
Team game.
Jack Campbell involved. Anzalone. And I think Anzalone's another guy this week, today.
Keep an eye on.
Making a ton of plays.
Can I say, and typically over the last week, I've gone at it with Tyler Chauvet in the chat. But I love what he said here because this is what we were talking about right now. Good coaches will place their guys in positions to be successful. Look at how the guys in the secondary have been. AG deserves his flowers.
He is right.
I think that has to do like the way the secondary has been placed. I think it has to do with how they've been getting to the quarterback and how they're going to do it over the next couple of months. Because again, unless you get Max Crosby and Myles Garrett, you're not replacing Hutch and Marcus Davenport. Those 2 guys together are a different level. So, bro, when you look at it, it's tough to be able to – it's tough. You won't be able to do that. But if you can get guys in there and you have to find a different scheme to go about it. Like today versus Jordan Love. Have to find a way.
Yeah, you have to. And guys, and I agree with what Tyler said, but I think there's 2 things can be true. Yes, it's up to the coaches to put their players in the best position to succeed, but another thing is the coaches are only as great as their players are. That's just the unfortunate.
Not even that. Like, you got to – that can't even be the case because you think about how we see Juju Hughes, Will Harris. We've seen it in the past where it's like, what do you expect Aaron Glenn to do? Like, he can't be greater than that. Like,
and he has good players.
Up to the players at the end of the day. Like, we've seen even when this defense was a little bit healthier, and they remember against Seattle, they sent Kirby Joseph on a blitz, gets to Geno Smith, but Geno Smith breaks a tackle and creates a play. Like, those you cannot afford with no Aiden Hutchinson.
So that's where you're going to have to find this, like if you're going to be blitzing guys like Kirby and different players, those guys just have to make plays.
Yeah, they have to.
Those are the guys now you rely on for the playoff run, for a Super Bowl. Like that's who you're going to rely on.
Yes.
And if they're not making plays, then you're in trouble. Iffy last year, prime example. Do you remember last year after the Ravens game? And I was very, very adamant on air about it all year long. That AG, I was like, you have to change the scheme. And after that Ravens game, he started to switch it. And that was when Iffy came on. That was when Brian Branch was getting to the quarterback more. But guess what those guys were doing? Iffy was finishing plays. He had 4, 5, 7, 6 sacks in that time.
Crazy.
That small
like
time.
Chancellor,
yeah. So like Kirby, if you get blitzed, if Amik, like whoever it is, you have to finish because like now you're part of that pass rush, which sucks. Like I'm sure there's teams that have won Super Bowls that have been able to figure that out. But you have to hope that like those guys step up and finish those plays.
And I got a question for you guys because when we're talking about this defense, like they're letting up yards and they're bending but not breaking, but more importantly, they're creating the turnovers. Like we saw last week, Amik Robertson punching the ball out, Kirby Joseph interception. Do you think that's something that they're going to be able to maintain through the course of the rest of the season?
Turnovers?
Yeah, especially like playing the divisional opponents twice a year.
I don't think they have a choice. And now realistically, like there's going to be time. It's difficult to get consistent turnovers, but you know what? They have the personnel to do it. Kirby, one of the best ball hawks. Brian's a hell of a ball hawk. I think forcing fumbles is obviously much harder to do. Like it's more, you have to be able to teach it. And Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell, they have a day dedicated just for that. It seems like they've done a great job of kind of, instilling the technique into these guys. Like Amik, I would have never thought would have 2 punch outs in a game.
Yep.
Like, so credit to the coaches. To answer your question, Lucas, they're going to have to. Do I think they can? Yes, I do, because they know how urgent it is. They need a turnover every game. They know what the loss of Aiden does.
Yeah.
And to make up with that, you have to win the turnover battle. Not just that, but force a ton of turnovers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's drive killers. You go all the way to the opponent's 20-yard line, or they go to the Lions' 20-yard line, turnover, drive killer. Yeah. So they have no choice, and I think they can. I do.
I do. Listen, like right now, guys, and I want to look at last year. If you look at takeaways, look at the takeaways from this year and last year of teams that went on to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2023, the top teams. Guess who was the number 1 team in turnovers last year? The Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship.
Man, they did. Yeah.
The San Francisco 49ers were top 10.
It's important.
The Chiefs, I don't know if the Chiefs were. I'm not going to say who was second, but they found a way to get it done.
They found a way. Hey, during that DeVito run, though, that's what carried them.
That's what
the Giants were number 2.
But here's the thing.
But like that gives you an advantage.
Yes.
Like that's a massive advantage. You know what it is, Jeff? Game by game. I'll say it again. What do I say is the most important thing in an NFL game? The turnover battle. As soon as you win a turnover battle, you have like an 80-90% chance of winning that football game.
Or at least staying in it.
Yes, especially if you're the best team and you have the best offense in the NFL. If you have the best offense in the NFL and you gain an extra possession on another team, they will never be able to catch up and beat you.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that every game, like I don't even look at total turnovers. Let's look at turnover differential. Lions right now are second in the NFL, plus 10. Plus 10.
They get takeaways. They don't have giveaways.
Like Jared Goff, they have 5 total turnovers on offense this year.
That's incredible.
5. That is like they do not turn the ball over and they're taking the ball away. That's third in the NFL.
And that'll be crucial this week because you look at Jared Goff, 5 turnovers. Jordan Love, while missing games, still leads the league in interceptions with 9 leads the league in interceptions with 9. And if you look at the Packers game by game, they have a lot of wins, but those first halves they're very bleak. It's like especially since returning from injury, Jordan Love, he's got to find his rhythm in the game. Now give him the ankle injury. He might not even find his rhythm, and even if he does, it's going to be probably later in the game. So if the Lions can, to your point, Boone, trade 2 turnovers, get a lead and keep a lead. If the Lions get a 10-point lead in this game, it's not over, but you can pretty much look at it as over
such
in
a
my
good position.
opinion. Yeah, like it's just like with this offense, like you were saying, Boone, stop them for one drive. They're going to score the next 2. It's just they're going to find a wrinkle. There's too many ways. Like they have pieces, but to your point, no Jair Alexander, no Evan Williams. They're going to find times where it's like, okay, you might get us in 3rd and 8, but you better believe on 3rd and 8, Ben Johnson has the perfect play call to execute it. And even if they're not scoring, they're killing time. Like we said, David Montgomery, big game. If David Montgomery can keep chewing up the clock, it just keeps the Packers off the field so they can't score any points. Jordan Love, 2+ turnovers. I think this game's in the Lions' favor for sure.
I love it. I mean, I think for this game specifically, guys, it comes down to honestly who takes care of the ball. And that's a simple thing. But in this rain specifically, like, turnovers are even more important in this type of weather because of how easy they can happen. If it's going to be raining and it's going to be slippery out there, holding on to the football, is going to be a little more difficult. Like the opportunity to punch balls out. Wow, pause. But it's going to be more likely today, boys. Yeah. It just is. So we'll see. I again, advantage Lions. I mean, I'm just giving the advantage there as well.
Well, you know what we need to start doing?
They take care of the ball really well.
One thing we need to start doing, especially with big games like this, I would like to go like advantage like position groups, like Lions wide receivers versus Lions or Packers secondary. Because now that I think about it and go through it, like maybe the Lions wide receiver core versus their secondary without Jair Alexander and Evan Williams, I know like J-Mo's out, but like, are you guys that worried? I'm not that worried. I think Jared's going to have an opportunity.
Even like last year, in the years before, like they didn't have Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra was still going nuts. Like Jared Goff was still playing. Amon-Ra has had multiple 100 games versus Green Bay.
Always at home, though. Remember the stat that I brought the other day?
Fair.
50 yards a game, 40-something.
With the way that Goff's playing, with the way that Jahmyr Gibbs is truly finding his stride, the way that David Montgomery's playing.
Yes.
Like, I am not – this Packers defense, like, it could be good, but it's not top of the league good. And I think that what you saw in Minnesota – where you have no Jair Alexander or Evan Williams, like it's probably similar tier defenses. So this is going to be one of the better defenses that they do play, but it's a defense that Ben Johnson has experience against as far as personnel. They have the new defensive coordinator, Jeff Iafrate.
Yep.
But I have no the offense. I am not concerned about it all. They could be playing against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Now, they're not going to score as many points, but as far as the Lions, like losing their offensive identity, I don't think there's a defense in the league that can stop their offensive identity.
Yep.
It would have to come off of, okay, now the Lions in the first 2 drives didn't score, you're down by 14. Throw the ball to get back in the game, but even then, you can run the ball to get back in the game.
Right.
The defense just has to give up a major amount of points for the Lions to ever lose their offensive identity this year, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm excited for this game, boys. This is huge. I mean, this has NFC complications, implications, but NFC North implications as well. It's like not just the division. You're talking like number 1 seed, boys. These 2 teams are chasing the number 1 seed in the NFC, the chance to have a bye week in the playoffs. So this isn't honestly that you win this game, they got to go to Ford Field.
I would
And with it, you have a chance to sweep them.
I would love to see, Boone. I don't know if you've seen it all. Like, what are the Lions' chances you win this game? Chances at the number 1 seed? Because I know you said NFC North.
I just saw the NFC North. I think CeeDee Lamb just got hurt. By the way, that's brutal for Dallas. If he goes down, they're done for the year. If they win they didn't win this game, if they have a 70% chance of winning the NFC North, guys. Like look at the NFC right now. The Detroit Lions are in first at 6-1. Commanders second at 6-2, and the Packers 6-2.
Yep.
And then you could talk about the Vikings and the Eagles. To me, the best 2 teams in the NFC: Lions, Packers, and then probably Eagles or Commanders. And I would probably go Eagles personally. And I'm a Commanders guy. Remember, I was the one that came out and said Commanders make the playoffs. But I would probably go Eagles. So I think it's a two-team race in the NFC for the 1 seed. And this is I've said it before. This is an NFC North championship preview.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that you could be in Ford Field and have them in the NFC championship game versus the Green Bay Packers. We could see them 3 times this year. So it's important. I mean, this game is important. This is one of the best teams in the league that you're going up against. And Jordan Love is probably I have to play.
You know what it reminds me of? Like when the Seahawks got cooking, the Niners got cooking, and it's like, oh, now the Cardinals are kind of good with Carson Palmer. And then you look at the Rams, they weren't much, but then they started to get hot. Like I think the NFC North, especially with how young the quarterbacks are. Minnesota Vikings have JJ, but you look at what he's doing with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Like Kevin O'Connell is going to cook with JJ most likely. So this is going to be a division that's just going to turn into what the NFC West was, where it's like the winner of this division is probably the best team of that conference. So it's going to be interesting to see because I think it's not only going to be like that this year, but for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, this division is going to be like this. I don't see this division cooling off at all over the next couple of years.
Adrian asked us, what do y'all think of Grand Rapids so far?
Beautiful city. I've never been here before. I'm from Toledo, so if I go up to Michigan, it's always like for Detroit. So I never go to the west side. Beautiful city. Got real American beer. They got the RV camped outside for us. It's got the fire pit. Beautiful city.
It is.
I didn't realize Grand Valley State was up here.
Yeah.
Didn't know.
Go Cards.
You learn something new every day.
Hey, go Cardinals, baby.
You learn something new every day, boys.
I do think that it is a beautiful city, Grand Rapids. I've been here a handful of times. We used to travel here for basketball and be out here for like a full weekend because we played Davenport out here. But then I come out here for weddings and stuff. It's a beautiful city. I do. Grand Rapids is unbelievable, guys.
And also, boys, and I want to tell the chat this for anyone new tuning in. The growth lately has been awesome. I want people to know if you are a new viewer, we do our watch parties and post games. Quick reminder: watch parties, post games. We are live, so please come hang out with us. And if you're in the Grand Rapids area, you're not too far. Come hang out.
Come hang out.
Grand Rapids.
Let's go.
Grand Rapids Garage Bar and Grill.
Starting
Crunch
to fill
Time
up.
Sports. It's starting to fill up for the game. Massive game.
There's real American beer everywhere,
I cannot wait to see the fans here when this shit starts going. I cannot wait. This is electric. So, by the way, CeeDee Lamb looks like he just got hurt. Cowboys are losing, by the way, boys.
Dak got hurt, too.
Pick the Falcons on Friday, but we'll leave it there.
The Broncos.
Well, you know how it is.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm curious about, boys? Real quick, just a thought of mine. I thought about this the other day. In this type of weather, could I make an argument that special teams, specifically Khalif Raymond, could have another big day?
I was going to bring up somebody else in Jack Fox because how much more difficult it's going to be to score if Jack Fox is just dropping them inside the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5.
Yes.
They're not scoring. Maybe they'll get a field goal, but then they got a rookie kicker. Divisional game. You never know.
Not saying the Packers special teams unit is the same as the Titans, but you get my point.
Yeah, I would say
not
this.
as bad as them, but still.
The punt team and the kickoff team. Be on your, what is it? Your P's and Q's?
P's and Q's.
Be on your P's
Cross
and
your
Q's.
T's, dot your I's.
Keyshawn Nixon, one of the best returners. Khalif Raymond, yes.
Yeah, he's
Keyshawn Nixon as well. Both all-pro returners. You might be both sides. You have 2 of the best returners in the NFL, entire NFL. Yeah. Probably 2 of the top 5. You have to be ready because Keyshawn has, I think, scored a punt return or a kick return on us and over the last few years, or he has had some big plays that sets the Green Bay Packers up, which are, again, our special teams unit last week was the best. They had the best special team game since the 70s in the entire NFL. So they need to be on there.
Almost.
Yeah, he did by himself. Dude, he was 19 yards short. And shout out Germ. Germ gets the holding call for a 40-yard return. Hold it back. He would have the punt return record for the NFL.
He's been on a tear. Touchdown the week before, too.
He had 2 last week, too. Yeah. He had the receiving touchdown as well.
Swiss Army knife in there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
This is beautiful here. I love being like somewhere for the games doing a show.
Let's see. Just a Fan says, who on Crunch Time will be drunk by halftime? Well, it kind of worked there. Who on Crunch Time will be drunk by halftime? Who
All right.
I put my bet.
Dr. Seuss.
I got a little buzz going.
Dr.
Crazy.
Seuss. Yeah, I think Lucas comes in at a favorite. I would say minus 115.
We were talking about at the draft party when they
Oh
put
my
that.
gosh,
they
dude.
put a mason jar of moonshine in front of us.
But we
and
didn't know it was moonshine.
I did
We
not
thought it
know
was beer.
moonshine. Like it tasted like beer, and I'm like drinking. Like it's pretty good. Lions come around. They trade up for Terrion Arnold. It's gone. It's gone. That whole night, I was just rolling. But hey, not today.
All right.
We'll get a good buzz going.
Can
Not
we
blacking
bring
out,
something
though.
up?
What's up, Boone?
I want to pull the graphic up, actually.
Yeah, go ahead. By the way, Sean Murphy says, can confirm these guys smell. You know what, Sean?
Where is Sean? Oh, he's
He's
right there.
Shout out, Sean. Sean Murphy's in the Grand Rapids
Shout
area.
out.
He came
Jeff, how
through.
do I do this? What's going on here?
All right, so this is what you do.
What's going on?
I got it. This is what you do. Watch this. All right, real quick. Hold on. Yeah, this is where I come into play. You got to get rid of that.
I've got a lot of tabs
Hey,
open.
If Sean
Guy,
keeps talking
I-
that rah-rah, we're needing a Pistons update from. How are they looking right now? That's
Yeah, I
it.
don't know. We'll say we're talking about a winning team right now.
That is true.
We're talking
That
about a
is
winning
true.
team.
Good
Drag
vibes
it here
on
and then
this
drag it
Victory
to you, bro.
Sunday.
But let's see. I saw another thing in here by Mark. I think it was Mark. Yeah, he said, crazy to think this team is still very good without Hutch and J-Mo.
That's why it's like they win a Super Bowl.
As
man.
much
that
as
is-
we're criticizing and being critical of Brad Holmes
It's
right now, the
nitpicking.
trade
I mean,
deadline,
it is.
it's because when there's going to be a flaw, it's just like anything. When there's anything great and you notice a weakness, you and right now the trade deadline, wouldn't call it a weakness for Brad Holmes, but it's yet to be something that he's proven to be his strength.
Right.
And right now it is like, it's just the beauty of when you see actual like competent general management, understanding that, okay, this team is very bad. Talking about 2020s after the Quintricia days, like this team's historically bad for NFL football, just sports in general.
Yep.
It's not going to be turned over in a day. Yeah, we could take the Kyle Pitts, the whoever, like the flashy piece, but you take the Penei Sewell. You're going to be bad this year. Everybody realized that. That's why you got Tyrell Williams on the outside. What can we do, though? Let's draft an Amon-Ra St. Brown who we can develop. And it's just, you can see that he knew it wasn't going to be turned over in a day, but in 2 to 3 years, something special could be built. And it's panning out exactly almost how he probably planned it.
Yes.
Minus the injuries, but hey, you can't plan those as a GM. You can
All
only
right.
prepare
No.
for if they happen.
Hey.
He's done that very well.
Klotzy,
Boone.
something that came, we already talked about it a little bit. The news that came out today.
This seems like breaking.
We had not breaking news. I'm not going to break any
Not
news.
breaking, but crunch time.
I proposed a couple days ago
She proposed.
a new hashtag.
What is it, Boone?
Edge to the
Oh
D.
my!
Edge
Full
to the
screen
D.
that.
And I'm going to tell you what.
This is insane.
There's someone who saw
Edge to the
this
D.
and said, guys, we need to make a move. Brad Holmes saw the graphic. He saw everyone, all the people out there that watch us. And,
He heard the
support
noise.
us.
He heard the noise.
They made noise and he heard it. They made
heard the
noise
He,
and
he,
he
didn't
heard
wait
it.
until Tuesday, Boone.
Oh, what a beautiful puppy that just walked in here. Golden Retriever.
Look at
That
this.
is
Look
awesome.
at this guy.
Oh my gosh. What a great dog that just walked in. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, it's a cute dog.
I've got
Yeah,
a dog
yeah.
brain
Lock
as
in.
well.
Edge to the D.
The edge to the D, though. I mean, guys, Brad, he heard it, and he went out there, and he's going to make a move. It was released. We already said it. Zadarius Smith
Has been contacted.
has been contacted. There is a rumor by Pro Football Talk that
Mike
by the
Dorian.
end of the night, I'm guessing after the Lions game, by the end of the night, maybe by midnight, or within tomorrow, Zadarius Smith will be a Detroit Lions, fellas. How about that? Get it,
Yeah,
clap it up.
hey, you know
It
what?
does
Clap it
make
up.
sense, too,
Welcome to
that,
Detroit, Zadarius.
Clap it up.
that it would be tonight. Because think if you're Brad Holmes, obviously the closer you get to the deadline, teams aren't going to be asking for as much as they want to get off
Yes.
the contract. The fact that he probably saw against Jacksonville last week, ooh, Jordan Love's hurt. Do we really need to make this deal for Zadarius now? Or can we try to just patch it up, get past Green Bay with the win, which I think right now all of us as Lions fans are confident. We've been talking about it. But now going into Houston, CJ Stroud got banged up. They have no Nico Collins, no Stephon Diggs. Injury depleted defense.
Yep.
This could be a game where you can bring in Zadarius, and you don't really have to talk about Houston next week. You don't have to make him have an impact right away so they can develop him more. So that's why I think I'm a bit more relieved. I was talking about last couple of weeks, the panic button for me. It's like almost being hit. But now that you're kind of looking big picture like we need to, everything's going to pan out how I think Lions fan want it to. Zadarius Smith will be back or will be here, and especially like week 12, he'll be ready. He'll be full go.
Brad Holmes was always going to go get an edge. The people that are like, oh, he's not going to. He was always going to go get you an edge rusher. It was never not a thing.
Isaiah Thomas.
And I said Monday, I said if it doesn't happen by Tuesday, it's because Brad knows that if he waits another week, instead of having to give up a 4th-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or a 2nd-round pick, he can go give one that's lower. And it's because teams get desperate. Zadarius Smith, did the Browns lose today? The Browns lost. So now the Browns, they're sitting there, they're done, their season's over.
Wait, who the Browns face?
The Chargers. Their season is over.
Who did we take? We didn't do that game, did we? We didn't even touch that game.
But that's the season is completely over. And now they're more desperate to get rid of these guys. They're like, we need draft picks now for these guys. We need to rebuild. Deshaun Watson's done. Like they need draft picks. And Brad, I think, guys, and I know I said I wanted by Tuesday, I wanted the man to make a pick or a trade for the Green Bay game.
Yeah.
Brad knows best. We need to take a step back and stop acting like we know more than Brad. Even us that are on air and we do this for a living, we can't know more than Brad because Brad knows if I wait until next Tuesday, I'm going to have to give up a cheaper pick. No. And how good are Brad Holmes' picks? That man knows how to pick players. So the better pick he can keep. He's doing it.
And here's my thing is like, and again, to your point, it's not, I don't want to act like I ever know more than Brad. My thing was if he does not make a move, I would be very disappointed.
Traumatized.
He was never not going to make a move though.
Hey, like we said, Zeke. Isaiah Thomas, big 3-5 on the edge.
He was never going to not make a move.
Well, we still got till Tuesday. I really hope.
What makes you think that he wasn't going to make a move?
It's not even about that. The fact that the worry of mine
there's
was
the dog again. Beautiful dog.
The potential that he wouldn't make a move. It was just whatever.
Love the dog.
So that's it. He's going to make a move. Anyway, we can move on here. Let's see. I saw a chat in here. Hakeem the Dream says, "Proud of you guys. We love you, Hakeem. You're
Shout
the man."
out. Thank you, Hakeem.
Let's see here. You got the Inactives for the Lions officially?
I
Can
do.
we bring it up?
Let me get that back up here real quick. I had it and I lost it because I wanted to get the edge to the D thing going. A lot of people were taking that the wrong way too. Did not know that.
Hey, why would they do that?
I don't know,
Why
man.
would they
People
do
have
that?
weird minds. I don't know, no clue what they're talking about. Not me. I don't have that type of mind.
Never, Boone.
I'm trying over here.
We got the Inactives. We're going to put it up on screen
this
for you guys officially, just so we knew Pascal, we knew Rodriguez.
Get everything cleared out.
Yeah.
I want to see who's officially inactive, so we can kind of react to who is inactive.
There'll be a little scroll here. All right.
Let's see.
We'll pull it up here. We'll go full screen with it here. Detroit Lions inactives, guys. Honestly, there's no breaking anything big for this one. It's as we thought. Sione Vaki out yesterday. He got downgraded to out. Malcolm Rodriguez was already going to be out and missed this week. Giovanni Manu, he is going to be out. Christian Mahogany, as always, he's been out for every game. A healthy scratch. Same with Colby Sorsdale. Josh Pascal, that was the big one.
That one hurts.
And then out of nowhere, I think it was Friday.
This one hurts
Thursday
as well.
or Friday was kind of out of nowhere. Some depth on the D line. Oh, boys. All right, get that one out of there. The D line, Mekhi Wingo, gone. He's not
huge.
playing today.
I think
that's a big one.
Not a big name around the NFL, but that's a big name for how the state of this defensive line is in
Yeah.
Detroit because Levi's not going to be able to play out there every snap. And with no Josh Pascal is the closest thing you have to a true edge outside of Muhammad and pretty much the rest of the defensive line. So when you don't have him, no Josh Pascal, the next guy up is either A, Levi, or B, Mekhi Wingo, who hasn't been showing up that much on the stat sheet. But when you watch Mekhi Wingo,
dude,
that's 6th-round pick and play some fucking
he's
ball.
showing more and
He
more
can play
every
some
time.
ball.
It feels like they give him snaps. He keeps showing more.
He's very athletic. Like you can tell, he's very light on his feet for how big of a man he is.
And again, dude, he's one of those guys you take from the interior and outside and get on the edge. And I don't know how much we've seen him so far.
Some of that versatility.
But once you get in there where Josh Pascal's been out, it's like you're starting to look at different opportunities to get guys in different spots. And all of a sudden, you got Mekhi Wingo, who you're expecting to be able to move back and forth. Haven't been able to. Not able to this weekend. Not Sunday, which is brutal. What was something else? I had something else here I was cooking up and wanted to bring up for the boys.
Real quick question. Who do the Vikings play today?
Did they play? No, that was last week. They played the Rams, correct?
Yeah, because they have their own.
They play the Colts tonight. Sunday night football.
Hey, don't let Joe cook.
This NFC North division, boys, it's.
If they beat the Packers, the NFC North is wrapped up, in my opinion. Let's talk about the Lions.
Yeah, you beat the Vikings, you beat the Packers.
I don't see the Vikings getting better than they already have been, and the Packers, I will give them a grain of salt because they beat the Lions at Ford Field, but when you look at how the Lions probably be the next time that they match up, I bet the Lions will be a game or two ahead of them.
Yeah.
Especially with this loss, because Green Bay, they're already a game behind, aren't they? They've lost 2. They've only lost 1.
Well,
one.
Because the Packers lost
2.
to the Vikings, and then the Vikings haven't lost, or they've lost to the Lions. Bears
6-2.
6-2. So then
the Bears haven't faced anyone in the division yet.
and they're going to
0-1 in the division. 0-1 in
Who?
the division. I think they lost to the Vikings.
the Bears.
I thought you were talking about the Packers.
No,
No,
yeah.
the Bears.
Or the
Did the Bears play anyone in the NFC North yet?
Let me check.
I
I got you,
I don't
boys.
believe so. No.
I thought we were talking about
because the
Packers
Vikings
today.
have a loss in the NFC North. The Packers have a loss in the NFC North to the
Yeah.
Bears. That's what they will soon.
Yeah, the Bears have not played a divisional
So
team.
the Lions, man, you beat the Packers today. Packers, that's 2 losses in
And
the
I'm-
NFC North.
By the
I'm
way,
sorry. Go ahead, real quick.
no, go,
I
I
would
have
just say,
something off topic.
especially with like a rookie quarterback, I understand that Justin Fields wasn't the better quarterback, but what Justin Fields did was be able to exploit the Detroit Lions' weaknesses on defense in the past. The more that like I watch the Bears and I watch them defensively, they're a good defense. But that's a defense that the Detroit Lions can exploit. And with the rookie quarterback and Caleb Williams, yes, he has pieces, but I'm just not as worried about going into Chicago this year as I have been in the years past, just because when I watch them, they're just not that physical of a football team. And I feel like that's been their identity. It's just like even when they had Deontay Foreman, like the matchup-wise, Deontay Foreman for the Detroit Lions worries me more than DeAndre Swift does.
Yes.
And it's just one of those things where it's like Chicago's a good team, but I just don't see like the physical brand of football that they have been playing as far as the years past.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Michael Daly just put in there currently 48 degrees, 24-mile-per-hour winds and winds and
Hey,
raining. at
what a
Lambeau.
day! You know what I'll say this?
NFC North.
I wish there was a bet I can put on for Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions to convert a 4th down
I was about to say that
because
like,
they're
fake
not kicking a
punts.
field
Do
goal.
you think there's bold prediction? Could be. Do you think that the Lions block a punt or block a field goal today?
Block? I don't know.
Don't let Germ get loose.
I will say this.
off the edge.
I love that. Are you saying he's only a special teams guy?
Not. Hey, when did I?
We
hey,
are
no,
right
no.
now. We're
You
in
just do it
Grand.
all.
We are right now in Grand Valley State
He's in-
University territory. Who do they have on the Detroit Lions that's out there helping them get wins? It gets real quiet in here.
Grand Valley, not Saginaw Valley.
That's
Come
what
on,
I'm saying. I'm saying, who does Grand
Yeah,
Valley
'cause
have on the Detroit
Ah,
Lions
yeah.
making plays like the
They almost,
Saginaw
they
Valley?
almost had Judon, but
They
they
did.
They did
They
it.
didn't. They never almost
We've got
had
Trevor
it. I
Nowatzki,
tried it,
though.
but
That
you got
much
Nowatzki.
better.
Yep. SVSU
Saginaw Valley
native.
State University.
Graduate.
Go Cards, baby. And then we're
Awesome.
like in the heart of Grand Valley right now.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Station in the chat. Beautiful day for some football. I mean, he's
love
absolutely
that.
right.
Some Jack Lambert.
I used
Mike
to
Ditka
love-
football.
I used to love it. It was the
Gale
best.
Sayers.
Back in the day when I played football and I was the long snapper, scout team,
That's
long,
on brand.
scout team long snapper.
It's on
Rose
brand.
Dial.
I used to love it. When it rained, it was fun. It was like water boy. I was running around just wanting to hit anyone. And then I would just get absolutely laid out of nowhere.
boy! Look at the.
It was thrilling, man.
I would pay money to see like
It was
8th
thrilling.
grade Booner just get lit up in football.
I'll get lit up
practice.
all the time. It was a good time, dude.
Just slide.
I did never
Mini
mind
Waterboy.
getting hit. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't that great. And
I mean,
then the guys that I play with, I don't know if any ever are watching here, but if
Dude.
they ever are, they would say I probably didn't get all the playing time in the world. I was there.
Effort
You
was
could
there.
hit me, and I got right back up.
I think Boone's asked probably twice a day if he could tackle one of us. So he has that in him.
Dude, that's the thing. When I was in high school, when I played, I just loved tackling, just like just getting up on someone. You
I
know,
never minded like getting smacked, but like I don't know. Whenever I launch at somebody, like it would just. I feel like it hurts 10 times more to tackle somebody than to get tackled.
Bro,
Whatever.
yeah.
I love tackling.
Hey, real quick, look
I
at this
love
comment.
tackling.
Adostel says, Tim 20 minutes said Bates has been kicking 60-plus yards
Love
easy
that.
today.
Love that. Maybe I was wrong then. Maybe I was wrong.
Bates is
For what?
launching
For what?
bombs in the rain.
Maybe I was wrong.
I mean, that is
What are you saying you're wrong about?
He said someone in
Jake
there
Bates
said
is
20 something mile per hour wins. When you hear that, I'm like, they're not kicking the field goal all day.
he's kicking.
I might take
nukes
Jake
today.
Bates. I might take Jake Bates under.
This might be he might score
No.
every single one.
I think
Of
this is
your,
yeah.
of your 8, he scored
Not
8 field goals,
bad.
24
You know,
points.
you know David or Jameer. They're gonna find the end.
Jake Bates.
He's
They-
gonna
you know
be
what they might
relied
do?
upon.
They might get up to like the 50 and be like first down, just like Bates kicking it. You know,
They're throwing
It's
a fake
automatic.
punt with Jack Fox before that. A shovel pass with Jerk to see him.
just let Bates get loose. I mean,
Just a fan said, did Booner take too many hits? I might have. I've said this before. When I was playing in high school back in 2012, 13, 14, we didn't have like the helmets they have now. They were like hard, tough helmets. Like there wasn't a lot of padding
the
in
old
there.
school like Tom Brady.
Yeah, not a lot of padding in there. And I'll tell you what, I've said it before. There was a lot. Almost every other week, I would roll into practice and have the worst migraine for
Did you
3
have-
straight days after I got hit. And I never knew what a concussion was until about 4 years ago when all the concussion stuff started coming out.
When Will Smith dropped?
Yeah, when all of that happened. And I was like, I definitely had 100 of those in high school.
Did you have the face mask where it was like, or just the helmet where it was like circle holes on the side, bar, and then the bar down the center?
Oh, yeah, I've had 7th, 8th grade.
You were
middle
the center
school,
mark. Yeah,
middle school.
Sure.
In middle school. I used to hate it, though. I think it was 7th or 8th grade. I had the bar down the middle, and I hated it because I felt like I was cross-eyed.
Yeah,
I was like, this is the worst. And then in high school, I was I'm never doing that. Just give me the straight across, please. And then they did. They were nice people there. Shout out my high school. Shout out those people.
Real quick, can you link everything?
Already did, yeah.
Booner's already ahead of it. Again, for those who are listening, guys, we're going to be live for this watch party. You're not going to want to miss this. This is going to be electric.
Are we getting done live?
Yeah.
Let's keep this thing going. I got bets. We got score predictions.
Oh, let's go.
We got the game's not till 4:30.
4:30?
4:25, 4:30 something kickoff.
All right, we've got minutes. So
we've got 20 minutes here to stay live.
I want to see what you got for today.
Got a lot of people. All right. Booner, hey, do you guys have any that you guys have? Just don't take time.
I'm tailing yours.
Just my annual. It hasn't hit yet, but it would have last week. What was it, Boom? Plus 550?
Plus 500 this week.
Plus 500, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to have 5 rushing yards each and every quarter. So through the first, second,
you're running
third,
it back?
I'm running it back too.
Every week it's been so close. If they would have been able to play in that fourth quarter, which they're going to this week, it would have hit. David Montgomery's for sure getting it, and I think Jahmyr Gibbs does too.
What's the odds on that?
It's
plus 500.
Plus 500, and then there's one that's plus 2,600 for them to have 10 in each quarter.
I don't know. 10 in each quarter is tough.
Is that?
I agree.
Is that FanDuel?
It would be FD.
FanDuel.
Correct. Yep. Plus game specials, you go to the Lions-Packers game. You got to click on it. Game specials.
I might enter this line.
Plus 500. Jahmyr and David both have 5 rushing.
He's not lying.
It's really like, are they going to get 2 handoffs each quarter? That's all it is, basically.
Honestly, in my mind, and I know this is wrong, this will never happen. It's just like the first touch that they get of every quarter. I just imagine them each running for a first down.
I would have to see. You got ESPN pulled up. Can you go and just see how much yards per carry they each average so far over the
season? I can do that for you, Klotzy.
Like to record 5 plus rushing yards.
Not even like a game, just per carry. They both are probably averaging around 5.
And so that's what, 2 touches a quarter?
I mean, it's 1. if they're averaging probably
I thought you were talking about for the 10. Yeah, so they average, Gibbs is 6.4 and Monty is 4.5.
And Monty probably has more carries, I'm assuming. Yeah, 90. Well, not that many, just one more.
It's about even. Yeah. I mean,
hey, boys, it's about even.
They're going to start. I mean, they get the ball. They're running
they're running the pill.
Yes.
Run the pill.
Yeah. Right down their throats.
This is a game where I know we talk about it, and we really haven't had to worry about it the way that the offense has looked over the last couple of weeks. Ben Johnson, do not get cute today. He's been a good job of staying away from it. He's been able to do it situationally with the lead.
It's been since the Bucs game.
Yeah, I agree.
Since the Bucs game.
He did it a little bit in the Seattle game, but he wasn't able where it was like, oh, Ben, you got to stop.
Remember the stat I gave out, Klotzy? Since the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, the Detroit Lions are 16 for 18 in the red zone. That is Ben Johnson just being solid, sticking to the game plan. Let's not do anything too tricky here. And the only game they weren't perfect in the red zone was the Dallas Cowboys game where they were up by 1 million and they went 3 for 5 in the red zone.
Very little third quarter woes too.
No, dude. The last 2 out of the last 4 or 5 games, you haven't had to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
You haven't had to play in the fourth quarter. All right, let me do this. Let me give you guys my bets.
Give the best bets.
As you guys know, we do 3 separate things. We do the Booner's Lay of the Day, Detroit Lions. We've hit 2 or 3 this year, so we are positive money in that. We do the Legacy Player of the Day, which did not hit last week, guys. I tried to go out on a
weird
game. And I tried to do something. It was one of those games where I tried to be cool and trendy and all this, and I went for Tim Patrick.
Didn't stick to your identity.
No, I didn't. No.
Not too cute.
What I do, but again, sometimes I love to be able. I love it. I love to be able to go out and do that.
I love some Tim Patrick too. I think he falls in the end zone today.
So we've lost 2 this year. So what are we? 7 games in. So we're 5-2. Last year we were 14-3 on Legacy Player. So I'll give you my Legacy Player, and then I'll give out some straight bets as well. That's what we're going to start off with, boys. Booner, hey, cheers real quick for Booners.
Cheers.
Booner's plays of the days presented by Real American Beer, baby. And presented by the Garage here, Bar and Grill here
great
in Grand Rapids.
It's an awesome spot.
People.
I mean, if I was here locally, I'd be here all the time. This is awesome.
All the time. All right. So we've got this. Straight plays. First one. This is a defensive one, guys. And I've given this out a couple weeks ago thinking it was going to hit, and it did not hit. But there's a man that last year in Lambeau Field in Green Bay had a big-time sack versus Jordan Love.
Who was it?
This year, not even to get a full sack, but over 0.25. So he just needs a half a sack or more. It is plus 300. When you hear the name, you guys are going to be shocked.
Trevor Noah.
I would bet on him so fast. It is
doing the unthinkable.
The best defensive lineman that you have on your football team right now.
Don't tell me.
Ali McNeil. Ali McNeil over.
Hundreds of bargain.
Over 0.25 to get a half a sack or more. Plus 300, guys. That should be a plus 100.
That's like a buy one, get one deal.
Oh,
that's
dude.
a steal.
He's due, man. He's due.
It feels like a lock. And it responsibly feels like a lock. Next one I have here, I'm running this one back. You guys are going to hate me. I know it is raining. I might run this back on my straight plays every single day, every single week until it hits again. Tim Patrick, fellas, over 23.5 yards. Tim Patrick.
We ride, brother.
It's going to happen this week.
Needs 25 yards.
The catch radius
of a small garage. You can park a Prius, and they're not in that 450. You can park a Prius.
Smart car.
Cord, and we don't, not even smart car. Those ain't even a car. You plug them into a wall outlet.
Oh, my gosh.
Fiat, maybe.
It's smart car.
It's Mini Kelvin.
Mini Kelvin. I love it. 24 yards. That's all you need out of the man. So we have Aleem, half a sack or more. Tim Patrick, 24 plus. Another one I'm doing, I don't know if you guys saw, Amon-Ra St. Brown shows up to the game today in a Green Bay Sucks shirt.
That's what it was.
A Green Bay Sucks shirt.
Yep.
You know what I'm doing with that? Plus 145. Give me an Amon-Ra St. Brown tutty. Give me a tutty.
What's his line at yardage-wise?
I don't even care. 60-something? I don't even know if he gets yards today. He's just going to get in the end zone. That's all that matters. He's just going to get in the end zone today. Another one here I have. Where's it at? Oh, Detroit Lions.
Love it.
Over. This is an alternate line. This is an alternate line. I moved the line because I think the Lions score 4 touchdowns today.
All right.
Detroit Lions over 27.5 team total points.
Wow. So you think they get at least 4 tutties?
4 touchdowns today. It is plus 150. I'm giving you plus money on this one. It's not minus 120. I see people around in the media world right now giving out minus 160 plays. What are you doing? You're not helping out the people.
That's fair.
Plus 150 over 27.5. Man up and take a real play. Everyone should take that today.
Take a real play.
Another straight play. And you guys are tuning into the stream, and I'm going to tell all the boys to put some money on this, and we're going to all sweat this one out together.
All right.
Detroit Lions first touchdown scorer or first touchdown scorer in the whole game. David Montgomery plus 500.
Half the time to make.
Oh, plus 600. Sorry, plus 600.
It's so crazy because I've yet to see a drive this season where David Montgomery has been the second running back out for the Detroit Lions.
No,
it's always David Montgomery,
and they always march down the field.
And even if they don't, a lot of the times David Montgomery will come back for at least the beginning of the second drive.
It seems like their first TD, they always are like, let's just punch it in with Montgomery, set the tone. Big boy football. I can see it.
Next one I have here, Booner's Lay of the Day. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Plus 390. I know it's not that. It's plus 390. I know people love to have juice. I love this parlay. It is a 5-leg parlay. Plus 390. I will caveat this. There is a Green Bay Packers player in there.
Okay.
There's a Green Bay Packers player in there. First one I have, Jahmyr Gibbs. 75 total yards. Plus.
Rushing and receiving?
Rushing and receiving. Okay. 75 total. With the rain today, he's going to get a lot of touches. Number 2, David Montgomery. 40 total yards. Rushing.
Okay.
40 total rushing yards. Number 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 50 total. Now, I know his yards, but I think 50 for a guy like him today, 50 and a touchdown.
Chef ain't liking that.
Impact player, had him on this week.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 50 yards.
Yardage, Hefe.
Yes.
It is, to your point, though, it's plus 390. With this game, with the weather, it's so hard to predict. I think it's just stick with the running backs, and Amon-Ra is going to get a couple. So it's relying on him to make plays. So I like it. It's not the biggest. But
next one, Detroit Lions team total over. I know I gave the 27.5 out. For the parlay, we moved it down. 3 touchdowns, over 20.5.
Oh,
over 20.5. Move the line down. Go get over 20.5. Make sure we get that line. And then the last one, this is the Green Bay Packers one. The only reason I picked this one is because of the rain. I think their Jordan Love might not be passing it as much as he's used to. He might have to because they're down.
Yeah.
But I think Josh Jacobs, guys, he's at least going to get 50 rushing yards. It's the Lions picking up yards, and it might have been in garbage time, whatever it is. I just go by the trends, guys. Like even like some players who haven't gone that crazy, they're about 50 to 60 yards versus the Detroit Lions, even if they're getting held to a low. But Josh Jacobs,
if he gets like 20 for 50 yards, it's like you'll live with that.
Live all
that's
day
something
long.
that you're completely fine with. If Tony Pollard and Aaron Jones have been running the way they do, and then you hold Josh Jacobs to 50,
you're talking about like 2.5 yards a carry.
It'd be like a 2-possession game, most likely.
It's not bad.
And then, well, that's it. That's 5. So we have Jahmyr Gibbs, 75 yards. Josh Jacobs, 50 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 50 yards. David Montgomery, 40 rushing yards. And Detroit Lions team total over 20.5 plus 390. Guys, that's going to hit.
Yeah, that's
I love it.
And then, last thing, legacy player.
Oh, who is it this week? It
Legacy
could be a lot
player.
Of players. Could be a lot of players.
He doesn't miss much with these.
I think this is an obvious one, guys. I think this is an obvious one.
Lock in.
I looked right at
If
him.
you're watching, get
Doesn't
your phone
miss.
out.
There's
Whatever
a man.
Booner's about to say.
I forgot to give out a single play. Jahmyr Gibbs over 92.5 all-purpose yards.
Love it.
Sorry. I need to over tonight. I forgot. I don't know why. I just remembered it, and I had it in there. I just did not say it.
Fair.
Over 92.5. Legacy player, though.
Who do we got?
Lock it in.
Guys, we've had the conversation. The rain, you're going to have to win the ground game. That's what it comes down to, right? I'm going back to old reliable. I've hit like 3 times on the man. David Montgomery. Give me David Montgomery.
He's a dog.
David, I'm getting back in the winning column. I need to get back in the winning column.
That's the guy you go with.
Over 40 or 57.5 yards, so about 60 rushing yards, and a Detroit Lions David Montgomery touchdown.
Yes.
What did I get it at?
Yes.
What did I get it at?
Plus 150. I could be wrong.
I boosted it. It was like minus 105, minus something. I got it at plus 109. I boosted it. If you get a touchdown boost somewhere, go ahead and take it. And go get yourself a David Montgomery touchdown. He will be in the end zone. I will guarantee you that. Hey, responsibly, okay? I'm not
never bet anything you can't lose.
Not a financial advisor.
You're not afford to lose.
All right? I'm not a financial advisor.
Hey, Boone.
Those are the plays, man. Let's go, baby.
Hey,
here we go.
Shout out. Catch you, Ivan.
Hey, go Lions. Let's go, baby.
Hey, there you go. Back to back. Shout out, Ivan, dude. Supporting the
FCP.
boys, and he shows up for the boys. All right.
There we go.
Score predictions. I said it on Friday. I think this game. I don't mean to push back against your
over.
Got to buy those. You can take a koozie and a towel if you want. Those are free. You can take those.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
You're the American.
Should just.
Are you out here? Are you out here flipping hats, man?
I should just.
I didn't know they were for sale.
Under the table type of guy.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they were for sale. I thought we were handing them out. I gave one out earlier.
Honestly, boys, I should have just gave him my hat.
I gave one to someone else earlier, man.
I'm not mad at it.
That's on me, Ivan. If you're watching, I'm a dick. All right,
Ivan, if you're watching, you should probably not, but the next time he watches, hit us up. We'll send you a hat.
Yeah, I'm a dick for that.
Send you a hat. Send you some merch. Do something.
I'm a douche. All right, score predictions. I said it on Friday. I think this game, we talked about it.
Self-awareness, self-awareness. We're getting somewhere.
27.5, you said over?
Yes, correct.
I'm sorry, Boone.
No, it's good because I'm changing my score prediction from yesterday.
I think it's going to be a 24.
Oh, he's looking at his notes.
23 type of game.
He can't be that confident.
I'm consistent.
24, 23?
Called consistency, Klotz. Take notes.
24, 23?
Consistency. 24, 23, 1 point.
What did you have Friday?
Down to the.
Yeah, he wrote in his notes where you would have forgot because you knew it wasn't that good of a score.
Okay.
Hey,
24-23 on Friday.
Look, I like the close score that you got, but the Lions are better than this Packers team by at least 1 point. I mean, come on, at least give him
I think it's going to be a gritty game.
Give him at least Jake Bates field goal, like a 30-27 score. How about that? They go over the over for
why not 23-20 or 21? Jake Bates hits the game-winning field goal.
Because no. They're not going to be in a spot. They're not going to be in a spot to need
David Montgomery is scoring at least once. I'm confident
this
twice.
Is my score prediction.
Oh, man. What am I in the middle of right now?
This is the same man who would give one of our loyal supporters a hat earlier. Okay?
I'm a douche.
Oh, no.
But 24-23 Lions got out with a victory. You know what? You gave me the idea. It comes off of Jake Bates, 50 yards.
He walks it off.
Right through the wind. Honestly, this thing, it comes out so hot, the wind doesn't even move it.
I tell you what.
It literally just like a dart.
Defies physics.
I mean,
Mother Nature stops when Jake Bates is.
You could see like it's soaring. Like it's making a noise. It's flying. So, yeah, exactly. Jake Bates puts him out of the misery.
Can we get a preview of the Dan Miller call when Jake Bates hits the game winner?
I really hope.
Jake Bakes lines up from the 45-yard line. 58-yard field goal.
I really want
Here we
Dan Miller
go.
to one day go, Master Bates with the 50-yard cheap shot.
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
24-23 Lions win. Easy. Get out of there.
Klotzy, what do you
2-0 in
have?
the division.
I just said it 30-27. I think this is a close game. I don't think it's a walk-off, though. I think the Lions, 30-27 seems close, but I think it might be one of those, like, hey, end of the fourth quarter. Jordan Love, Malik Willis, whoever's in the game, Dontavian Wicks in the pylon with like a minute 30 left, onside kick, makes it look close. But I think the Lions, they win by 3 points. Jake Bates going to be crucial in this game.
Yep.
But I just think it's something where Packers might take a lead for a little bit, get some momentum. Lions are taking right back. I think the Lions are going to be in control of this game. Won't necessarily show on the scoreboard, but I think Lions win 30-27. Jared Goff, clean game. I think he might put the ball on the ground once, but through the air, I think he's going to be clean. So I like Jared Goff. He plays clean. This Lions offense continues to roll. Lions team continues to win.
All right, guys. I had a certain score prediction on Friday.
Yep.
I'm switching.
Oh,
I'm switching.
I told you, Mr. Consistency.
Hey, you know what? It's not consistency. You know what it is? You know what Dan Campbell would say? Jeff
What'd he
Iafrate,
say?
I want you to learn a little something from Mr. Dan
I got my notepad. I'll learn.
Campbell.
What do
And
you got?
write this down for you.
I got it. I'll write it down.
Adjustments,
Adjustments.
adaptability,
Hold on. I haven't
change,
finished the first
Change.
one.
adjustments,
Adaptability.
adaptability,
Okay.
change, progress.
Okay, there's a more?
You
This is
have to find a
presidential
way.
campaign speech that
You
I'm
have to
listening
find a way to get better as a person.
Adapt,
I'm getting
Justin.
better. This Detroit Lions team is going into Lambeau Field. Hey, they have their Green Bay suck shirts on.
Yep.
They're ready to roll. I thought maybe this was going to be a tough football. Lions are going to roll the Green Bay Packers. They're wearing the most ugliest retro jerseys I've ever seen in
They
my
weren't like,
entire
are they the
life.
blue and brown ones?
Not the brown ones, the green with the all yellow. It's the worst thing of
I know
all
what you're
time.
talking
The
about.
worst colors of all time. The worst city of all time. Lambeau Field. I don't care.
Green Bay,
I'll never go
Wisconsin.
there.
What do you
Shout
do? You
out
make
Tom.
cheese there.
Shout out Tom Grassi. Love cheese, hate the Packers.
That's
Give
fair.
me the Detroit
That
Lions
is
31 and the Green Bay Packers 24. They
Ooh,
win by a touchdown,
Howdy.
and it's not even going to be close. They're going to score at the end to make it a touchdown game and try and get back in the
we agree
game.
there.
They're going to dominate this team at Lambeau Field. An Amon-Ra St. Brown touchdown, another Lambeau leap. And you know what he should do?
What?
That man should grab a real American beer from someone out of the crowd and dump it on all the fans. That's what he should do because they did that to him. Give me the Detroit Lions to roll the Packers 31-24,
Love it,
baby.
Boone.
And I'm going to go drink that Kool-Aid right outside of here in Grand
Check
Rapids.
it
If
out.
you're around the
Right by
area
the RV.
after a Lions win, I'll be right out there chugging the Kool-Aid, drinking real American beer out by the truck. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait, boys. First live Kool-Aid chug today.
Come on now. Come on
Need
now.
the Lions to pull that one out for it to happen.
Yes, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. Put your score predictions. I saw a lot of blowouts on there, which the people are obviously on one side, and I love it. Fuck the Packers. It's gonna be a great game. By the way, we will be live in about 5 minutes. So if you're chilling, you're at home, stay patient.
It should redirect you. If you stay on,
Yeah.
it should redirect
Just
you.
chill.
If not, what I'll do as well is I'll put the link to our watch party here in the
Yep.
chat.
Go ahead.
Go get yourself a beer, man.
Yeah, go take a piss. Go let out the dog. Go make yourself a quick bite to eat. If you
Go let
want
out
to,
the
you've been eating
dog.
chips while you're watching. Sweep up the living room a little bit. You see
Yeah.
that crumb on the floor? Sweep it up real quick. Help yourself out.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Game will be on.
Don't
go
piss your
anywhere,
wife
though.
off.
Guys, it's the biggest Lions game of the season. Come tune in and hang out with the fellas.
Come on now.
We need the people here. Let's win this thing together. Let's go
There
in
you
there and
go.
win this
Links
thing
in the
together.
chat. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
All right.
Love you guys.
Deuces.
Detroit Lions.